How many people have no idea that this is coming?
Well, what I say to people, Joe, is I say, hey, have you noticed stores closing on your main street? And then they say yes. And then I ask them, why is that? And then they reflect for a minute, and then they say, Amazon. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Amazon's getting $20 billion of commerce every year, and is now tipping your malls and Main Street stores into oblivion.
Yeah.
And is that going to get better or worse? Because so some people say it's the robots are years away. And then you're like, no, it's not robots actually walking around your neighborhood. I mean, of course, that's unlikely. But Amazon soaking up the business that used to go to your mall. If you go to their fulfillment center, it's robots as far as the eye can see. If you go to their warehouse, it's also robots as far as the eye can see. So when you ask how aware are people that this is happening, it's one of those truths that as soon as you point it out, they're like, oh yeah, I knew that was what was up. It's just for whatever reason, I'm the only person just laying out the facts and being like, guys, it's not your imagination. We actually are getting rid of the most common jobs in the U.S. economy, filled by high school graduates, and then replacing them with a handful of jobs for higher skilled people in different places. And then we're pretending that the first population is somehow going to access the new opportunities when the odds of them getting up and moving to Seattle or whatnot and becoming a web designer or logistics manager or big data scientist or something essentially near zero. And so this is what gave rise to a lot of the anger that got Donald Trump elected, because they looked around their communities and were like, hey, I used to work in this manufacturing plant. This manufacturing plant no longer exists. For whatever reason, I'm being told that it's somehow my fault that I wasn't adaptable enough. I didn't somehow become a coder or something ridiculous. And I have to say, Joe, and this is something that I've picked up from Dennis in part. So I'm with this trucker and